welcome back to another episode of Anchored, that time where we get to come together and spend time together with God's Word. You know, it's also a time to just help us develop a very healthy habit, a habit that helps us grow stronger and keeps us anchored. So you know what to say. Join me and let's get anchored. Well, as you can see, I've set this table. I kind of wanted to put a couple of party things on the table because I was reading in the Bible about a very special party, a party that Jesus went to, a party that he went to with his disciples and even his mom. So I'm going to invite you to turn to John 2, and we're going to hear about Jesus' very first miracle. And it happened at a wedding party. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to a wedding party. I know I have. Usually there's a wedding ceremony, and then afterwards there's kind of a dinner and sometimes a dance and lots of fun, and it's over pretty late. Now, in Jesus' day, though, the party would go on for a week. And in John 2, it tells us that at this party on day 3, something happened. They ran out of wine. Now, the host would not want to disappoint his guests. He did not want to have a bad party. And Jesus' mom went to Jesus and asked him to do something about this. And then she told the servants, do whatever he tells you to do. Well, Jesus told the servants that there were 6 very large jugs. Now, I only have one, and it's not very large. The jugs that Jesus was talking about were water jugs, and they held 20 to 30 gallons. That's a lot, way more than I have here. But he told them to go fill those 6 jugs, and the servants did, and they filled them to the brim. And then he said, now go and pour that water for the master of ceremonies. They were told to just bring plain water and pour it for the master. And they did. When they poured it, it turned into wine. And that master, well, he tasted it, and then he said, wow, most people start with their best wine, and they end with their cheapest wine. I have never been at a wedding where the best wine was saved for last. This was Jesus' first miracle. And there's not a lot of people in this story that even know what Jesus did. He did something amazing. There must have been hundreds and hundreds of people there, but only a very few saw him do this miracle. The Bible tells us his disciples saw. The servants would have known because they knew they had filled the jug with water, and when they poured it out, it was the best wine. And his mom would have known. But that person who tasted the wine first, he didn't know that it had just been turned from water into wine. And the other guests, and even the bride and the groom, they were so busy with having their party that they missed an amazing miracle. And this reminds me to have my eyes looking for what Jesus is doing around me. Also, that line from the end of this story, that John 2 verse 11, where it says, this, the first of his signs Jesus did at Cana in Galilee, and manifested his glory, and his disciples believed in him. Jesus didn't do miracles to put on a big fancy show. Miracles happen to show who he is. Miracles always point to God. They always reveal God's glory. And when we can see God's glory in the things around us, we too can be like those disciples and believe in the power of God. We need to pay attention to what's happening around us. I hope today that you will be reassured that just like Jesus took care of the needs of the people at that wedding on that day, that he continues to take care of your needs. And I pray that you have eyes that can see his care for you.